Good morning, everybody. I am recording what we're going to do today for the first day of our daily practice challenge. This is going out to all my new Desi's newbie babes that I met at the Henna Society conference in Connecticut. But obviously, anybody that wants to join in is more than welcome to. This tutorial assumes that you know nothing about henna and that it is something that you're trying to practice or get introduced to. I do this for my workshops, and I have little kids as young as 8 years old doing this same class. If you are a little bit more advanced and have a little bit more experience, you can still join in because we are just doing the basics, and you know what, it's always good to go back to basics. So for the daily practice challenge, you will need some stuff. What do you need? The first thing you will need is graph paper. I got this printed out. I do have graph paper, but I couldn't find it, and I need to get ready for work. So I went to this website, waterproofpaper.com, and printed it out. I did actually print out another one like this, and it was super light because it's in blue. So make sure you get the darker version of this, and they have other things. So waterproofpaper.com. The next thing we need is henna cones, ideally fresh. Somebody messaged me a daily practice and they said that their cone was very stiff, and I want to show you. This was in my car for the longest time and I just pulled it out, and I want to show you what a nasty old cone looks like, and I'm going to clean it, just get the tip going, make sure it's actually coming out. No, it's not even coming out because it's so old. See if we can do it. Yep, it's coming out, but it's still messy, but we're going to keep going. This is the example we're trying to give you here. So this is an old cone, and this is a little test I do. I actually try to draw the line as much as I can. Actually, it's not as bad, but I guess I just have a little bit more control. And then we're going to try it with a fresher cone. This is also not super fresh. I did make it a few days ago for an event I did. So again, not super fresh, but hopefully fresher than the other one. And this is draping so much better, but it's smoother for when I do it. And oh, look at that. It's draping really well, but I am, there you go. Now I can do more control over this one. There you go. So this was me just trying to go slowly to show you, and it just went there. And so we're draping. I find that you can tell the fresher cones by how smoothly they drape. And I like this one. And even when I'm putting pressure on this, it's requiring less pressure, which is why these were bunching up. Versus this one, because it was drier, I'm actually applying more pressure. Now if I take the pressure down, look at that. It's not coming out at all. I'm trying to drag it and the pressure is slower or reduced, and this is what's happening. I'm not even able to get things out because the pressure is not enough. So I'm having to squeeze much harder. And the person who sent it to me said their hand was hurting, and that's why we should try for the fresher cones. Okay, so and that will ease the pressure and do that. If you do not have a henna cone, that's okay. Just grab yourself a pen, and I am using for demonstration purposes this Sharpie gold marker. I do also have the thinner markers here. This is what I would recommend. This is a 0.5 micron, but for demonstration purposes, again, I am recommending the thicker thing for myself and this one for you. Okay, all right, so let's go. So today's practice, day 1, let's write it in here so you guys know where we are. Day 1, we are just going to practice dots. Now the very basic thing, the number one thing of having a henna cone is just figuring out how to hold a henna cone, and not only holding it, it's how to squeeze. People just assume that we're just doing some magic like that. We are using pressure to get the cone variation, the line variation, the thickness variation, the dot variation. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a demonstration using the graph paper as an example. This is me just squeezing very gently there. It's a very light dot. This is me squeezing with a little bit more pressure and spending a little bit more time on it. And this is me continuing. I'm only going to squeeze, even though I would at this point make a much bigger squeeze. Squeezing, holding tight, and holding longer will create variations in the dots. So your homework for today, guys, and gals and ladies and anybody in between, we love everybody's, is to just use your graph paper, use the center corners, like I'm seeing a square here, so that's my center there, to place a dot. I just want you to practice trying to get equal size dots as you go along. This is actually a practice not only in muscle memory, but for you to remember and visualize how much pressure is going to be required to make equal dots. When you are done with this, do at least half a page of these, girls and boys, and you will go to the next line and then you will try this. Again, your goal is to change the size but keep the consistency over here. And when you are feeling much more confident about your pressure and you feel like you're doing a better job, again, another half a page, you're going to go to the next level. With this one, I'm just moving it down for space purposes. I tend to make a circle when it gets bigger with a little swirl like this. And it helps me to distribute the thing. Move 2 boxes across, squeeze in. When you feel you have enough pace there, you make a little circle. So today's practice is just dots, dots, dots. All I want you to do is to squeeze and make dots. Now, quickly going to, before I wrap up here, you wanted to do a pen, you would learn to just do dots, 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 dots. And now, I don't know if you can see that, if you want to change the size, you are going to have to do a little bit of a swirl to get the same dot size. But again, even though the product is different and the holding and the grip and everything is be different, you're still visualizing, you're creating a visual memory of size consistency. And then we go to the bottom, and this is actually easy because we're going to be doing the same thing with henna. And you're going like that. And you're trying to keep the sizes the same. So you can do this with henna or with the marker. The idea is practice, practice, practice. So day 1, ladies and gentlemen, is dots. Please post your dots in the daily practice challenge on the Facebook group I created for you. And if you are not a part of the Facebook group and I have sent this to you, please send it back to me, just a picture of your practice. I will upload it onto the Facebook group so that you are still participating in that. Okay, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Bye.